This is episode number 284 of the Middle Country Public Library podcast. Hello, welcome. Sal DiVincenzo here in the studio with my fabulous colleagues, Sara
Hello.
and Nicole Rambo.
Hello.
How is everyone doing?
Great.
Good. Hate to start the show off on a low note.
Yeah.
But we do
doing good.
Yeah, we do have an announcement to make. Our beloved Tater, our guinea pig, here at the Center East building has, as they say, crossed the Rainbow Bridge.
She has.
Yeah.
So we're sorry to say that Tater is no longer with us. But two of Tater's cousins
That's right.
are here.
Yep.
And they are now in the Center East building, and they are now accepting visitors.
And I think there's a contest, right?
There is a contest.
To name them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So next week, on I think it's Wednesday and Thursday of next week, you can come down to the Center East building and you can take part. Kids, you can take part.
Is it adults too, or just
No.
kids?
Just the kids. So adults listening to us,
Convince a kid to put your vote in.
because kids are not kids are not listening to us, but the adults who are listening to us who may know a kid or have a kid, have them come down next week to vote for the names of our two cousins of Tater down in the children's department here in Center East. And I think they're going to announce that first thing on Friday morning, right? I think it's going to be good. So with that out of the way, why don't we get right into our show? We got a couple of interesting segments this week, and Nicole's going to start it off with something that's near and dear to her heart.
Would you two, I'll start with a question.
Okay.
Do you two consider yourselves socially awkward?
Yes.
Do you? Do you? Really?
I don't know if I would consider myself socially
Have you
awkward.
met me?
See, I don't think you are, but go ahead, Sal.
I don't think I would call myself socially awkward. I'm kind of like, if anything, I would.
You are
consider
not
myself,
socially awkward.
Social.
You might have social anxiety, but you're not socially awkward.
Yes. Okay. Very good. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Okay. I'm going with what she said.
Okay. And you think you're socially awkward?
Oh yeah.
Like how so? Like, are you good with small talk?
No.
No. What is it about small talk that you don't like?
What is about small? Is it everything?
Like, would you rather get to like a good conversation and skip over like how's the weather? How's
Oh, okay. No, because I can do small talk with people. I don't like. I guess it's the awkwardness. Like sometimes you can have small talk with someone, but you click,
right? Yeah.
And I don't have to have a big conversation with them or whatever. But sometimes, like, you just with someone, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
But is it worse? Would you rather you both all of a sudden go like, okay, or would you rather the other person just keep on talking and you just are like, kind of like, all right, I'll let them go.
And you know what? At this point in my life, my experience, I honestly don't care. Like, I don't take it as an insult. I just like, okay, this is awkward, but it's not a bad thing. Like, I don't pass judgment. I'm like, it
Right.
doesn't make me bad or you bad. It's just like, I'd rather be anywhere but here.
Right.
Kind of a thing. And
Yeah.
I acknowledge that, but I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You know what's interesting?
Yeah.
I much rather be. This is going to sound crazy. Maybe not. I much rather be the center of attention. One.
Oh, really?
And two, have to sit or have something to say or something to present than to just be an attendee at something. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd much rather be the host of the party than a
Really?
party attendee. Does that
No, that's good. That's like
no, I just
good that you would admit that. I don't think that everyone would be willing to admit that
The shining star.
no,
that
see,
they only want to be the star of the show and to be in the audience is like disgusting to them.
Oh, Sal.
But you're not alone. I don't think you're alone.
No.
Like, I think there's plenty of people who would agree with you.
So that does it for today's show.
Don't feel bad about it. Don't judge our reactions.
No. Can I explain something?
Yeah, of course.
It's not because I want to be the center of attention. It's because going into that situation, at least I know I have something to do. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, because as
I much rather have something to
participant,
do.
you have something to do. You watch.
Yeah, but you know the way I get. I mean, we've been to conferences before. You know the way I'm like sitting in the back and I get crazy when it's like quiet and like people are listening and stuff like that. I much rather be the person making the noise than the person in the back listening to the noise. Is that kind of weird?
Do you get like secondhand embarrassment? Is that why? Like if there's like a
No,
lull? Like
I don't think
what
that's
is
it.
No, I just don't. I've always had trouble being in a room with a lot of people where it's really quiet. Because I'm always afraid, my stomach's going to make a noise or I'm going to start like having a coughing fit or something like that.
But
Okay.
as a presenter where everyone's watching you and you have a coughing fit, that's okay?
That's okay because I'm already up there. I've already resolved myself to the fact that I am going to be the center of attention and not someone who they're like, hey, did you see that guy? You just kind of like lost it in the back of the room.
So have you ever been to a party where you don't know anyone?
Maybe once in my entire life, twice.
So like, what did you do?
Did you make yourself a spectacle?
No.
The center of attention?
Yes, I made myself.
Punch bowl over your head.
It's like,
Start singing you too.
I'm Superstar Sal. I didn't make myself a spectacle. I think I just, there's always there's a hierarchy and there's a level of folks who go to a party, different levels of familiarity with the person who's there, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I would gravitate towards the person that I would think was not the most familiar with, and I would,
Like you.
yes.
Okay.
Like your same status.
Yes.
Right.
So I would do that. But it would be rare that I would go to someplace where I don't know other people. In the past, I mean, now it happens all the time. I'm on the Miller Business Center team. We do a lot of networking. I go out there.
Oh, yeah.
But
That's different.
But it's
though.
different.
Yeah.
See, it's different because I
You
have
mission.
I have a mission. I know, I can start the conversation by, hey, what do you do? And I can say, well, this is what I do. And then that starts it up. But in a social party situation, no, I regret knowing now that back then we did not have the iPhone, the Android for the cell phone, because I feel like nowadays a lot of folks have a better opportunity to kind of do their own thing in a situation like that where you can literally take your phone out, look down and start to browse and watch TikTok.
You think
or
that's
YouTube.
better than going up to like a group of people and saying like, hi, like, or I'm new or whatever?
I don't know if I would do that in a party situation. No.
Yeah.
I would definitely do it in a networking situation, in
Right.
business, but in a party situation, I think me doing that I'd probably end up not going to the party or leaving very shortly after if that was the case. You don't lose any face if you don't know anybody. What are they going to say? Oh, that guy came, The only situation that would be is that the host of the party invited me, and that's the only person that I know. And that's like kind of like the worst case situation because the host is going to be dealing with everybody,
Right.
not just you. So why?
Yeah.
Why, Nicole? Why are you talking about this today? Why did we spend 9 minutes talking about this today?
There's a podcast that I've been listening to.
Yeah.
It's the Atlantic, and they have a podcast, and it's like the how-to series. And the most recent series is how to talk to people. So the first episode is all about small talk. And so they interview. It's really good episode. Like it's produced like very well. And so in that first episode, they interviewed 2 hairdressers because they're like small talk is their whole like deal.
Oh,
Yeah. So and that like interesting how each one kind of had their own like do they enjoy it? Do they not enjoy it? Like they both consider themselves introverts. And I'm pretty sure both of them, I know at least one of them was like, I'd rather kind of like I asked you, like get to a good conversation when you're like, how's the weather? What's cold out? Yeah, I know it's cold this time of year, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like kind of stuck there. And she's like, I'd rather just be like, do you believe in God? Like, I just like get to like that kind
That's
of like,
deep.
yeah, but like get to like a more like fun like thing. So they kind of talked about how they like navigate that when that's like their whole job and like reading the clients and seeing like if they want to keep talking or if they don't want to keep talking and stuff like that. So I thought that was like interesting. And then they interviewed a social scientist who and he was the one who said if you're at a party, he's like not everyone would do this, but if you just go up to like a group of people and say like if you don't know anyone or if you know like do you gravitate towards like the people you know or do you try to meet other people? And I guess it depends on where you're at in life, like or like where you're at age-wise and maybe like location-wise, because like say you've moved to a new place and you don't want to live in like isolation, you know what I mean? Like you say you were invited to,
I don't know.
I know. Both of us are like,
like invited to like a work party or something, and like go up to like a group of people talking and say, hi, I'm Nicole, like I'm kind of new to the area, do you mind if I join you? And both of the girls were like, I don't know if I would ever do that. And he's like, yeah, you know, it depends on who you are. But and when I heard that, my first reaction was the same thing, like, oh my God. But I was thinking, I was like, okay, so say I was at a party and I wasn't like in a deep conversation. There was a group of us and we were talking and someone came up, seemingly normal, and said that. I would be like, of course, join us. This is what we're talking about. What do you think? You know, like, so I would never say no to someone doing that. So like, why would, you know, so if I had done that or someone does that. So I thought that like, it would make me like think a little bit, like that was like interesting. And he also talked about when he was younger, he had to like him and his parents, he specifically told like a Wendy's story where when they parked at Wendy's, his parents would turn around and go, okay, Ty, what's going to happen? And he's like, I'd have to mentally prepare myself. Like, I'm going to walk in. The first thing I'm going to do, because he's like, I would run to the counter. I would cut people, not meaning to, but I was so like solely focused on like, okay, I have to talk to this person and get my hamburger. So like they'd have to walk through the steps of like what's polite and like what's like
good.
socially acceptable to do. And I thought that was like interesting, especially if you do have a child that seems to like be doing, you know what I mean? Like not like socially like picking up cues, social cues. Like some people can pick up social cues and some people can't. And he also talked about a friend who he felt bad for. This friend moved to another place and he was trying to meet people. So the two of them went out to a bar and the friend was trying to talk to someone and he was, he's what he called like a space invader. And the girl was like the video game. And he's like, I don't know. He's like in the America. Yeah. Like he is a close talker and he doesn't really modulate his like volume appropriately. So even though he's the nicest guy, he's so interesting, but like you could see these people being immediately turned off. He's like, so, you know, he's like, that's the other thing. It's the other side of it. If you notice someone doing these little socially awkward things, like maybe give them a chance. Don't like immediately write them off because sometimes it's just something. I don't know. I thought it was like a really good episode. It was like interesting to listen to bring it back to the library. We do have...
just pre-record that. Press the button, Sal. Bring it back to the library.
He mentioned when he was like a child, like the exercises that he did with his parents. So we do have a whole social skills section in the parents collection side. And there's some in 302, 371.9 area about like social skills like for kids. And there's even one in picture books, a concepts of ABC Ready, alphabet of social skills. So yeah, so I think that's something to, and I think, you know, if you start it young and they can pick up kind of like this, a scientist guy did, like pick up little things to like mentally prepare yourself. Like as the kids get older, it might be like easier for them to do and remember, you know, if they're going into like a situation. So it's something to talk about. And the second episode was actually about the infrastructure of community and libraries was talked about
Nice.
a lot, and how like ideally libraries would serve as a place for people to come and talk, but in many communities they have turned into a safety net for like so many different things that it's not really about like a gathering place anymore. It's about like helping people find shelter, find food, it's always like, oh, if you're in desperate need of something, go to the library. And that's kind of made it not as like inviting for just gathering and like talking and stuff like that. So it was interesting. They talked about a bunch of other little infrastructures too, but that was like an interesting point that there was another like social scientist, different one, was like making. One of the girls who's the host, she goes to her, she's saying, I go to my community library, they have a puzzle swap. But she's like, I never talk to anyone else swapping puzzles. I just go get my puzzle and leave. So it's not like like community space, you know. So it's interesting. So I like the podcast and social skills are important.
Social skills are important. I feel like if I was in a situation where I'm in a group, let's say I know people at this party and I'm now in the group. If someone came to the group and said, "Hey, can I join you? I'm such and such," and I would absolutely, you know, accept them into the group, accept them into the conversation. And I think someone who's socially awkward would be okay with me as long as they're not rude, I guess, or nasty or purposefully, not their personality, but purposefully trying to hurt, you know, people or say terrible things. So I think knowing that, I would accept someone who's like out of the person. I don't know if I would do that though.
Right.
That's
yeah.
the thing.
I
I
don't know
think
if I would be
everyone
that
would be like,
person.
of course I'd accept someone.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd be that someone to come in and
Well,
say,
I
hey,
think
can
that
I
was the
join you?
point. Yeah,
But
that not a lot of people would.
But like knowing that you would, you might hope that other people would. Like you're not a singular, amazing human being, and everyone else is horrible. You know, people are good.
Most,
You know, like
in most cases.
So you know, if you see, like I said, it's like a group of you can kind of like gauge, and like you wouldn't like if two people are having this like clearly in-depth conversation, you don't walk up and be like, "Can I join you?" You know.
True.
So, who's getting a divorce?
Yeah, exactly.
Can I weigh in on this?
Exactly.
I'd be like, yes. Let me tell you the background.
Well, thank you, Nicole.
You're welcome.
Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
what are you talking about this week?
I am letting everybody know. all
Public service announcement.
Yes. Basically, Steve, I'm letting you know that we have something called Consumer Reports online. So a lot of people come in, actually, and they want to see consumer reports because they're buying something. And a lot of people still use this periodical as a baseline of recommendations. But we do have it online, and you can access it with your library card on our website in our database page. And a lot of people use it for cars.
Ah,
Yes.
I should have.
So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how they rate and test and score their cars. All right, ready? Predicted reliability, predicted owner satisfaction. I think that's it.
Ah.
Road test score.
Mhm.
Consumer Reports overall mileage, not the manufacturer's mileage, but the actual mileage.
Mhm.
Acceleration between 0 and 60.
Mhm.
Braking from 60. Emergency handling, ride, and noise.
Wow.
Yeah. So for mid-sized cars, guess what the top two are?
What's a mid-sized car? Like a sedan? Or like
Yes, a sedan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think Honda or Toyota is going to be one of them, right? What do you
Yes.
think? Both of them?
Yes.
The Honda.
So it's actually a 2023 Toyota Camry hybrid.
Oh, Camry.
Oh, yeah.
Those look nice.
Yeah.
Isn't that also the most stolen car in the country? The
Camry
The Camry. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can see that. 2023 Honda Accord hybrid.
Oh.
They all got 90s, which is the highest. There are no
Nice.
hundreds, okay? So the second place, 2023 regular Camry.
Okay.
2023 Nissan Altima.
I
Oh, wow.
was gonna say that one too. That's a
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
Everyone has that car.
However, surprisingly, and I know you'll have something to say about this,
It's not going to be surprisingly. Go ahead. Say what it is.
Okay.
I think I know what it is.
the next one
Uh-huh.
underneath the Altima,
Yes, is.
2023
Yes.
Kia K5.
The Kia K5? Not
Yeah.
the Ioniq 5.
Nope, the
Okay.
Kia K5. I've never even heard of this
Nope.
car.
I was gonna say. Oh.
Kia makes a good car.
Well,
They do.
Consumer Reports agrees.
Yes.
And finally, this is not finally, but the one underneath it is, ready?
Yep.
With a score of 80,
Yes.
2023
Uh-huh.
Subaru Legacy.
Really?
I
thought
like
the Tesla. I thought you were
Subarus.
going to say Tesla. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Not even in
I
there.
thought you were going to say Tesla.
Yeah.
I was prepared to say Tesla. That being said, Kia is a good car. Subaru is a good car. I think
I didn't like my
Sarah,
Subaru.
you own a Subaru?
I had a
You
Subaru.
got a Subaru?
You liked yours?
I love my Subaru. The
Yeah.
only thing I did not like about it and what caused its demise in my life is that it had no acceleration.
Yeah.
That's the CVT. That's the transmission is kind of like. Yeah.
But I mean, I never hydroplaned in it.
Yeah,
I
exactly,
never I felt safe. I never like the all-wheel drive. Like I have all-wheel drive my Honda, and I'm like, I do. Like it doesn't feel like it at all.
Now, if you had a WRX Subaru, your acceleration would probably be very nice.
Oh yeah, I test drove one, and I was like, oh, very nice. But why didn't you like yours?
I think I just didn't like the size. It had it was a cross track.
It was big.
No, it was small. Like it's smaller than the smallest one that's not the car.
It's a crossover.
Yeah,
right?
but it had the worst features of either. I don't know. I just it wasn't comfortable in it. I didn't really love it.
Oh really?
Yeah. I had a Rogue in 2017, and I should have bought that car. At least
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, freaking love that car. And now apparently they say that the Rogues have changed. They're not the same as they were. So.
They all change.
Yeah, that's what they say. But.
Okay, so compact cars, ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Top score was 82. So,
Yeah, well.
okay, as expected, the Corolla hybrid. But then it jumps dramatically to 77 to the regular Corolla.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Where's the Honda Civic?
No.
So then, and then,
No, my baby's in there.
then after that is the Subaru Impreza with a
Wow.
76. 74 is a Mazda 3. And then it's a Honda Civic.
Oh, my God.
boy.
Yeah, yeah. VW Jetta has a score of 72.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I thought they were safer. The Volkswagen. I thought they were like...
Volkswagens are
Or maybe
amazing.
Volvo, I'm thinking of.
I don't know because I feel like Volkswagens are very tiny.
I've
They're so tiny. Like,
well, I got to tell you, I'm speaking from experience. I've been in 2 accidents. Not my fault.
sure.
No, they weren't. I just happened to be there. Both with Jettas. The first one, they had to take me out with the jaws of life.
But you were
obviously, I survived. Yeah. Yeah. Thumbs up for the Jetta.
Yeah, same thing with the Impreza. My Impreza got totaled, but I mean, I didn't really physically have any damage, and the car
Yeah.
took it in really good resale value.
Did you do minivans?
That
I want a
is-
minivan.
That is, I tell you, I went.
Yeah,
when
after you said that, yeah.
I was like, this is driving a cloud. I was like, woo.
Yeah,
It was
you said
nice.
how great the minivan was, and I was watching Will Trent,
Yeah.
that show, and in one episode he's like driving a minivan. He's like, "This is great."
It was.
Have you seen the Buzz, the new Volkswagen Buzz, the electric van?
Does it look like the old school, like hippie?
It's very old school hippie. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It's pretty cool.
But they also have guides, so they talk about whether you should buy or lease, how to go about that process, stuff like that. So it's not just reports and stuff like that. However, so then we have dishwashers. That's another big one is electronics, and they have all the appliances. And I am in need of a dishwasher.
Okay.
I'm not happy. So best dishwashers for $1,000 or less.
Okay.
Mid-range models offer top-notch performance and plenty of features. But based on their lab tests of more than 100 models and a member survey data of more than 144,000 dishwashers, we believe the sweet spot for dishwashers is between $500 and $1,000.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. I still think that's very expensive, but
How much did you pay for your dishwasher?
I didn't. It came with the house.
Oh,
I love my dishwasher, by the way. I have a Bosch,
I have a Bosch too.
which has been, knock on wood, has been fantastic.
I don't know what I am.
So I have a Bosch, and it's 10 years. 'Cause
Okay.
I got it when I first moved in, and then I called it broke, like completely broke, and then I called a plumber, and he's like, "It'll be more money for you to fix the machine than it is
It's
for
actually
you
get
to."
a new
But
one.
and I'm like, okay. So blah blah blah. They talk about tubs. Steel tubs versus ceramic or something like that. Rack space and adjustments. They spent 28 hours evaluating each dishwasher.
I want to
Wow.
work at Consumer Reports.
I know.
How fun would it be?
Yeah, it is
just
Yeah.
pretty cool.
putting
Our
dishes at the
testers
dishwasher?
load each machine with 10 white ceramic dishes with baked on food and run the normal cycle or its equivalent. Afterward, they use a photographing machine to determine precisely how clean each dish is.
Wow.
They also test a dishwasher's drying capabilities, judge noise levels, record cycle time, and calculate water and energy use. Number 1, mid-range dishwasher, with a score of 79, is the Bosch 300
Bosch,
series.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. Second one. Very surprised by this. Are you ready, guys? The score of 77. The IKEA Essential.
Wow.
Really?
Yes. With the price of 700.
Those Swedes.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what to do.
Third one, overall score of 73, is the GE
Classic.
GDT226 SSLSS. But yeah, so and then they go down to Whirlpool, Insignia. They actually have a few brands, and then they just tell you a little bit more about them and everything. And they have higher end ones and lower end ones. So
It's
Interesting.
great. And I want to point this out. So if you were to go to Consumer Reports, I think consumerreports.org, I think, whatever,
Yeah.
their website, and then you click on, like you're at home and you click on, the reviews and everything like that, you come up with a screen that comes up that says you have to subscribe, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
There's that paywall there.
yeah.
Go through the library website. There is
Yes.
no paywall. It's the exact same website.
Yeah.
It's not a library website. Like it's not a, because a lot of times the databases, they have library versions and they have business versions.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the exact, this is as if you were a subscriber to Consumer Reports. And how often are you on there?
Whenever I'm
Buying
searching
something, right?
something.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's the only time I ever, and I would have to say maybe once a week I'll get someone who's like, can I get the Consumer Reports? And then
Exactly.
we have it behind reference.
We do have the physical copy of the magazine.
So then, it's a kind of a, but when I tell them, oh, we have this, and then sometimes it's just, and I will have to say, there's an index in the actual magazine in June. You have to look, and they'll tell you what month the reviews are. It's kind of annoying. But sometimes I'll just be like, look, I'll show you how to do it online. And
it's so much easier.
It is. And then they're like, oh, and
Yeah. And you could do it at home, right? And there's like
You
a
can.
home and library version.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Accessible from home.
Yep.
yeah.
So cool. Well, thank you, Sarah,
Sure.
and good luck on your search for a dishwasher and or new vehicle. That's what
Well,
you-
right now my dishwasher is my hands. Very efficient, but also lazy.
Yeah. Score.
Poor quality control.
Yeah.
Do you pre-rinse or you just put it in there?
What?
Do you pre-rinse your stuff or you just put it in the dishwasher? Have you ever seen those commercials?
Yeah.
where
You're
people are
supposed to just put it in.
It's just,
Pre-rinsing, they say
supposed to,
it's
yeah,
not necessary.
it's
You're wasting water.
Yeah.
Why let it soak?
Oh.
And then I'll just
Okay.
like,
Yeah. Soaking, but
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, I let it soak too.
I don't know, because it's like some people, when it's their turn to load the dishwasher, they'll leave big globs of food, and then they'll be like, "No, you can." I'm like, they don't mean like you can have eaten pieces of steak.
I don't know how to load a dishwasher, so
You don't
apparently not.
touched a nerve here.
No, I'm very open to the fact that I don't load it like strategically, where maximizing space. I just show it. Like,
Yeah.
Which is very uncharacteristic for a librarian, I feel.
Not me. I think I am an uncharacteristic librarian.
I think so too, because I feel like lots of librarians' dishwashers are probably like to the manual of how,
Yeah.
I can think
I'm
of some people
children's
here. I don't know about that.
Well, thank you, Sarah.
Sure.
And that does it for this episode. And look, if you're listening on YouTube, you're going to want to hit the subscribe button because we have some exciting things coming up shortly with the podcast and with the library. We have some nice programs coming up as well. So definitely hit subscribe, hit the like button. If you're listening on a podcasting app, such as Apple Podcasts or Spotify or one of those, give us a review. We'd love to get some stars. We'd love to get some reviews, right?
Yeah.
It'd be nice. Tell us. And we're open to constructive criticism. We won't block you. Everybody's shaking their head no. See, if this was a video podcast, you'd be able to see that we know. So we greatly appreciate that. So hit us up for a review. And if you want to email us, because we'd love to hear from you, you can email us directly, podcast@mcplibrary.org. Thank you so much for listening. For Sarah Fade and Nicole Rambo, I'm Sal DiVincenzo. We will see you on the next show.